book 54 of 2019 was Good Omens by Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman. My friend bought me this book because she really loves Terry Pratchett, and she wrote me a really sweet message in the beginning of it. She's lovely, like a really good friend of mine, and I really wanted to like this book because I feel kind of like disloyal for not liking it because she loves it so much, but I didn't really like it, and I know I wouldn't, and I think that's why I haven't really read any Terry Pratchett books, because I kind of got the idea. I'm sure I've read some of his stuff before and not liked it, or had some exposure to it and thought, no, that's not for me. So I kind of knew that I probably wouldn't. I've read some Neil Gaiman ones as well and thought the same about his, and I know that everyone loves Terry Pratchett and everybody loves Neil Gaiman, but for me, the reason why I didn't like this one is because of the reasons why I didn't really like their other ones too. Like, it's supposed to be really funny. I think I only laughed once, and it was like a really suppressed smirk, like it wasn't even much of a laugh. No, I'm not miserable. Like, I've read Simon Amstell's Help and laughed my head off. Like, I found it absolutely hilarious. So there are things that I do find funny, but it is quite difficult to make me laugh. And in fact, I read Cloud Atlas. That's a really funny book, when it's got the character of Cavendish. I know that's named after a scientist, which is why I remember it, but Henry Cavendish or something. I'm just questioning now whether he was a scientist or a politician, but anyway, tangent as usual. So I have laughed at stuff and I have found stuff really funny before, so I don't know what's wrong with me. Like, my sense of humour is just like, it's like literally trying to find the G-spot on a woman, I think. I don't find many things funny, but like when it hits, it's like amazing. So I didn't find this one funny, and it felt a little bit forced sometimes. Like, am I supposed to be laughing at this? But then other times I think maybe I'm just not that clever, because I just didn't get some of the things that they were alluding to. Like, I think the context was missing for me. It was like reading Shakespeare, where unless you know, like, you've studied it and you understand the language and you understand why it's funny, it's not funny. Like, I find like Twelfth Night hilarious. Like, I think, and I find Hamlet hilarious in parts as well. I know it's a tragedy, but it is funny in parts. But like, this I think needs explaining to me. Like, I'm going to talk to my friend about it and find out like which bits are supposed to be really funny, because I think I feel like I'm missing something. But I think what I didn't like about it as well was that it's kind of, there's a lot of it that's written from the perspective of the Antichrist, so the child, which is, you know, it's like talking about like, you know, hanging out with each other and like playing and stuff, and it's like, I don't really want to read about some children hanging out with each other. Like, it's not interesting. I've talked about this before when I've talked about like reading from a child's perspective. It's just, I just don't want to do it. Like, I just find it so underwhelming. And it was interesting how it was like heaven and hell, and it kind of alludes to how like heaven's a little bit like a government corporation. Like, it's like kind of trying to control everything, but then you've got like the people that rebelled against it, who, you know, are the fallen angels that end up in hell, that are kind of like the freedom fighters, like trying to rage against the system. So I thought that was quite interesting, and it made me think of that in that way. And it was as well like kind of saying like, you've got good and evil, and they're trying to battle against each other. They don't really care about what's going on the earth, but it's just like, that's just the battle that happens. And it was kind of interesting how it was said, like, you know, God, who knows everything, surely created hell for a reason. Like, it's there with, you know, something in mind. Like the tree with the apple and Eve and stuff, it was all designed like that, to happen that way, to kind of, you know, see like how things went or whatever. So that was kind of interesting. And it kind of alludes to like good and evil, and whether you're born evil, you're born good, or if people interfere in your life, do you become good, do you become evil? And like, could you, like, nature nurture debate was touched on a little bit, but like none of these kind of like philosophical questions were ever like developed or ever kind of gone into more, or like, it was very like silly, very kind